Hello everyone and welcome back once again to the Fenland map here on Transport Fever 2, and I apologise for being absent. No videos last week. Unfortunately I got I was going to say a rather nasty bout of the flu, but I guess it was just a bout of the flu. There's nothing nice about the flu in any way, shape or form, but yeah. So basically it waylaid me for about a week. Even when I could talk again and feel up to doing a video, I was still very stuffy. About 95% there again now, but yeah, it's taken a while. And anyway, we are back, and I'm very excited for this episode because I have spoken to some people and they've given me plans for this. Albeit plans from the 70s, and I'm not going to be able to build it in full. Anyone that's seen this will know that this, well, we'd need to be out there somewhere to fit all this yard in. So we're going to use what we've got. I'm going to try and do this bit justice at least, and see where we get to and go from there. So, for what was about 2 hours of building for me, we have this so far. And as you can see, there's a heck of a long way to go. Heck of a long way. And I can tell you, it's a bit scary actually. All of this here is so up to here. That is half, well, less than half the length of the entire thing. Once you get past here to about here, where the main pump yards were, that's when it gets really hectic. So, as you can see, we're really, really, really not going to get all of this done. And this road, realistically, is way too close. I was looking at it before and thinking, something not right about. And they're really, yeah. So, where this road goes down and this turns, yeah, that should be up here somewhere. So the map's not completely to scale, and I knew that going in. I know that the scale's not quite right in the game, and I accept all of that because we're not going to get an accurate one-to-one recreation. I've had to simplify that a bit there. There's so much more going on here, and we'll get to that in part 2 of Whitemoor build. I don't know how many parts there's going to be. One thing that's really bugging me is I don't have all the sheds that I've subscribed to, all the shed mods. There should be so many more here. But we've got sheds. That's the important thing. And got these tracks here. And in real life, in the 1980s, we did get rid of this tree-lined road. The tracks really did come up to the road like that. No fence. You could park up here and myself, well, my dad did, because I wasn't able to drive back then. Yeah, we'd come and park up and we'd see what was on the shed. And this is a bit convoluted because, yeah, I've had to fiddle with it a bit to get stuff in because realistically we should have twice the length of space here at least to get all this in. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this build so far. We are going to be time-lapsing more of it. I'd probably redo these sheds because as you can see the height is off. I'm not happy with that. Ugh. Let's say the sheds are not accurate anyway to the buildings, but these three were a pass-through and this was a dead-end one. So that at least is right. And what we'll do is go like this and go. And this is where the game's going to throw wobbly at me. Because whenever you go on these, you get real lag. Excuse me. Class 37, please. And I realise it's going to lag, but I want to put one down. Just one. In my era, I remember there being a load of 40s over here. Don't remember this shed being there. So, to put it into context, if the game hasn't completely died on me, there should be a shed over here. And, oh, that's interesting. It's what I'm seeing on my screen and what you're seeing on there is two very different things. Oh. Okay. So it's now working, sort of. And I've managed to put a 37 in the middle of space. Yeah. Over here, there on the map I've got, admittedly it's from 1970s. It shows there being a big shed. All I remember is this being very overgrown and there being class 40s parked up over here. So I think that's how I'm going to represent it. As I say, it's supposed to be more evoking my memories than a picture perfect recreation. But as always, if you have got photos of this area, and I'm going to have to cut this video because I think I have crashed the game. Yes, if you do have any pictures of the area, feel free to share them with me, either on Discord or wherever. I'd be delighted to take a look. But anyway, that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.